today we are gonna see the one thing here. Basically, we are watching all my pre-recorded videos of a series called The Rebirth of Civilization. Basically, we started with making that Russia started nuking cities around the globe, and America started also, and other powers. So all civilizations died just like cities. So after some years, there would be no city globe or towns or village or any settlements. Then we saw nextly that this shows that Russia is one of those, and China and USA. Basically, it's made huge invasion, but we didn't get all of them in. We just got some colored in. Now we just did go back to that. Then we simply just go to the politics some way. Oh, I may guess. Yep. Basically, we just it shouldn't be really red. After videos, you see all those white again. We just started making some cities, and well, after we had about that many there, we just simply go on, basically making another city here close to Warsaw place, and then we go even further and further, making cities there, and then Star, the first capital, is at the coast of Poland. Now we move it further, and basically we made more those, and this side is now city size, and now we try to fix that this side also would have cities. Basically making everywhere cities where we can, and further we go, the more it would show to us. And Poland was kinda already full with cities. And we showed where the nuclear zone happens on the major. Basically, that's all where major of nuclear zone. And my microphone didn't really work there either. Now we just started doing Lithuania as well. Same goes to the Lithuania. What happens? Now, for you all guys, I'm gonna be quiet maybe, so you guys can look the video of what I'm playing, and I can watch as well. This is first the city, by the way, that's on border of two countries. Basically, we skip everything what we could to the time, and we throw out all white again, so it's be easier to us. And we started doing Iran as well. Kazakhstan started making cities now as well. Russia is making first invasion to Belarus, and well, we don't we cancelled all friendships and alliance there. So yeah, this is why it's happening, and Russians want to place their people somewhere as well. Capital of Belarus is so circled that it's already lost, but Belarus didn't surrender there. Belarus trade route is cut off by Lithuania, and the major city what is trades is lost. So Belarus just surrendered. And in the peace treaty, the all Belarus is annexed by Russia. This is first invasion what happened as well. And like I said, Russians moved their people in there. This also was start of Ukraine skirmishes. Their northern neighbor is gone, so they start repair themselves as well. And basically, we wanted to lock off all Europeans to have cities and that. So we basically go to Balkan and make them have also cities. And their second invasion, Serbia invades Kosovo, and immediately Kosovo is gone. And we can just see that there's full annexion of Kosovo. Now Greece makes more cities because they want to repair to invade also. Switzerland breaks their neutrality and invades Austria. And in peace treaty, Switzerland annexed the leg of Austria. And also Liechtenstein united with Switzerland as well. And Swiss made Liechtenstein by that city and some other places. Austria had hard time standing, so they made another city to share border to survive betterly, like I saw there. So it would be better on them. Italy made some cities and then annexed San Marino and Vatican and made them as cities too, making more cities. until there's so many cities. And Italy now makes an invasion to Slovenia and fully annex them immediately. And like I said, fully annexed is what happens. This border is cut off, and simply their capital is now one city of the Italians. Now we can see that they made more cities there. France made more cities. Luxembourg were fully annexed by German, and the city were made there. Now Ukraine start making more population place because people wanted to move somewhere, and Ukraine kind of goes so far that their population start booming up. More cities they made, more people moved in. And Moldova also tried to do that but failed. And Ukraine kinda had better chances than others. Now we see that Baltic Union is taking place by Lithuania and Latvia and choosing Lithuania's capital. Then Estonia joined that, and well, by this the capital is replaced to Estonian capital, and some more cities are made. Now we can see that there's giant invasion gonna happening. I accidentally found paint them in those two souths, but I did so. I just later realized that now I didn't find them. It's just two versus one huge country. Poland kinda knew that if they are on side of Baltic, they could control something there. So they did try that, but Russians already came there. So this kinda went backwards for them, pushing out of Baltics heavily on their border, capturing huge number of cities until they managed to get to Estonia, capturing huge number of cities there, circling capital, capturing capital, and Baltics didn't surrender there. So Russia moved faster, and until they managed to get so many cities of Baltics that they just surrendered. Now there were only Poland left, so Russia just tried, but Poland just surrendered because they knew they can't beat Russia. So in the peace treaty, what happened was interesting. All Baltics were annexed by Russia, and little bit of Poland were annexed as well. And this is now Polish Russia sides. and the capital of Baltics were just destroyed. And well, as further this goes, the Poland just looked more disgusting than used to be, and Russians just can move more freely to other places. Now this made Russia make more cities there and little bit grow their already existing cities. What made kinda hard time for others Europeans. So Germany just tried to survive off that as well by invading also Poland, pushing in Poland, who had already invaded, so they are basically weak, making Germans push easily in them, and afterward the Germans got so far that they tried to reach Ukraine border, but they just finished off the invasion. Poland surrendered because they are already at the Russia border of their capital. So in peace treaty, there were annexed decent amount of lands to the Germans and make border close to Germans as well to their Poland capital. And well, then afterwards, we can see that Poland is carved up decently. Now, Germany made some more cities to secure their provinces and population, trying to be world's most populous country. Then we see that some countries are just staying like they are, but until the union got happen on Central Europe, called Central European Union. And basically, they just moved their all capitals being one place as well at the three countries border. So they would have it basically centered of their country. And now we saw everything being like that. And Ukraine start making more cities to fit their population, what is so fastly growing that they had to do that. So Ukraine kinda started getting full, so they had to go somewhere of their mainland, so they invaded Moldova. Going that way and simply annexing all Moldova. And in the peace treaty, the all Moldova is annexed entirely. Now, Ukraine opened Moldova borders and simply Ukrainians saw this as chance, so they start making cities there to get more places to be because they have more open space now for their civilization. So they start making that. So Ukraine kind of got more full, so they had to invade Poland because they are basically weakened, and they pushed so far that they got even Poland off and simply circling huge number of troops of Poland. And in the peace treaty, Poland just surrendered, and peace treaty happens basically these kinda Poland sides were gave to Ukraine, and now Ukraine just got those lands, and Ukrainians start moving there as well because those places are open borders. And so the population starts growing further and further. The Ukraine population is just growing there. And now Ukraine is kinda getting full by cities, like China is. So this is basically Europe and China. This government is so expanded, and so the government simply is going further and further, expanding their ways of making cities until there's literally not so much space anymore. Now they thought to invade Romania. So Ukraine's just invade Romania. No, go away. So now they just simply entered by north, capturing those lands, going further to the east, and from there they go to south. And they wanted all Romanians ghosts, so they also got that. And in the peace treaty, Romania had to give them lands, giving away three of their main cities, and basically weakening Romania's government as well. And well, they also kinda are now Ukrainians slaves, and Ukraine start making more cities there. And afterwards, we see that this Ukraine is starting to fill up with countries. No, not countries, cities. And this Ukraine is so full already that there's no population places to be. So they just already invaded two neighbors. They thought where to go. Romania makes some more cities to get back their government. Poland tries to make themselves back together as well. And then we see that Central European Union is making own expansions of cities, and this kinda good as far as that. And Ukraine wanted that thing to fix their border as well. So they invaded the Central European Union, pushing that way until they reach capital and capture that, basically pushing further to the cities and simply force this government to give them a lands what they wanted, but little bit extra they wanted now, so they can place their people there. And Central Europe is now kinda western sides, and Ukraine is also now in Central Europe. And now we can see that Ukraine opened up their border to those places. And what basically happened is that Ukrainians start making cities there so they can make their population to grow further. And now we can see that Ukraine is kind of getting full already there as well. And they tried to place somewhere cities, but they kind of were on the place to others places. So they just simply tried to do so, but kinda left like that. Then they tried to see if they can forcefully send their so-called peace Gauls to the Romania and fully annex them. What Romania had to do, accept the offer, because if not, then Ukraine would invade them. So this is what happened. The Romanians were fully annexed to Ukraine. So Ukraine basically had to grow further to get more population to places. So they placed them on Romania's land. And after they start making cities there, the Romania just simply got full as well. And this kinda is left like that, Ukraine, fully covered by cities. Again, Ukraine had to expand somewhere. They basically they tried to place somewhere their citizens, what are simply growing further. Basically, Ukraine have the number of civilization people of China already. The first most populous country right now of there, because all people just moved some way to Ukraine and other Europeans and other countries who have right now cities. And simply we see that there's first movements of Ukraine to the Egypt. Ukraine just had to go there. Basically, we didn't erase any country borders as well because then those countries still exist, but they don't have a lot of population. So Ukraine just made cities to Egypt where people just simply start moving there, and we can see that Ukraine got crazy making cities so they can basically focus more trip place to the Egypt and more population can go there. So they did so. So Greece tried to block their way as well. So this kinda get blocked, but Ukraine tried to go around those, so they got go there, but still they got blocked by Greece. So they had to do something. Their ships tried to go to across the Greece, so they invaded Greece, and simply the invasion start getting fully or the over Greece because Greece didn't support that will happen. And in peace treaty, we just simply see that Ukraine annexed those islands and made their own cities there. And simply now we kinda had the Ukrainians go over the border of Egypt and Libya, basically making their own cities to Libya as well, and simply making new borders because Libya government had no other choice but allow that. And well, then we would see that Ukraine is more huger, and now Russia, you tried your another invasion to Caspian mountain region and simply overtake all of them. And in the peace treaty, you would fully annex all them, all entire three countries would be annexed by you. Making your way to their being success and simply securing the capital of you there as well. And you start to make more cities because you can forcefully send now those people around the country as well to be citizens of Russians. And simply you try to go further. And now we would see the end of this video. Don't look that, guys. First video is done. Now it's second time. This is second episode and we see that Russia is kinda on Europe side of mountains, but they wanted to go further. So they just had to do so. They forcefully sent even some existing Russians around the cities, and now there's huge number of lands being owned by Russia cities. This is the first time we painted country in one color, so we would be seeable that country is one single country. And Cyprus got fully annexed as well. Now we start doing that same thing to other places because Italy were second country who got out of Europe as well. And this like the Ukraine did, expanding themselves further of Tunisia colony and simply they made cities there as well. So they can place their population there and afterwards they had some nothing. Now we see Spain doing the same thing like other states because they are basically close to others as well. And basically, they didn't stop there. They got a little bit further south. So they would be getting more lands. And now we can see that this is kinda united now under Spanish rules. And Spain made their own cities there as well. Now Ukraine start making more cities to Egypt to make people get freely travel there further to make population even further grow on Africa as well because Europe is already filled, so they had to do something. Now we just try to fix those borders issues, and now we said so Europe is kinda already filled, so like we said, Russians tried to go further to Asia, but they just simply start doing that now. Basically, this is showing how one Russian got from around the country crossing the China border to do something. But for now, it's not seeable what he does. So afterwards, we would see that. Now Russia is further expanded to Asia, and their border is now kinda seeable that people are crossing it further and further. So Russia just blocked this border, and they certified this border being fully blocked, so people won't cross this. They blocked other Chinese borders of Manchuria as well. Russians start making more cities to the coast way. Ukraine fully annexed Saudi Arabia. Some Iranian people crossed to Afghanistan to make their own country there. Same happened in Pakistan. And same happened to Turkmenistan. But some Kazakhs also moved there. And Ukraine start making more Arabic cities. After Saudi Arabia were revolt, Ukraine got over India as well, making cities there. The reason they made India theirs is because if they didn't, then the Pakistans and Afghanistans would go there as well. Now, Ukraine colonizements were huge. And Russia called themselves now empire as well. And we work out one little spot then in the Russia and Turkey border to draw in. And now we got the Russia. Now we see that Ukraine, no, not Ukraine islands, but Russian islands don't drought in themselves. And Russia made some more cities to the islands. And now we see that there's more things happening, like Brittany calls their self empire and annexing some Caribbeans. After that, Spain started making their own colonizements to America. They made their own cities there. Now we see Ukraine start making colonizements to America, taking over Venezuela, making their own cities there as well.